Hey, this is the most important message that I've delivered on this channel if you are a woman trying to manage an extremely difficult relationship. Full disclosure here, I'm speaking to women that wish they could find a way to stay, likely because of their faith convictions, but maybe also because divorce is terribly expensive, maybe because there's kids at home and you don't want to disrupt their child development. So I want to be clear, whether you stay or go is your choice, and I'm not telling you which choice to make. However, if you wish you could stay, then watch to the end of this video because you're going to hear information that you won't hear anywhere else. And I'm Dr. Don Russell, lead of the Russell Healing Institute, and one of the things that we do is we do a Detox Your Marriage program for those women that want to find a way to stay, if at all possible, in their relationship, but they're finding their relationship extremely difficult because they have learned that their husband is a narcissist, gaslighting, bad news kind of guy. So in this video, here are I call them 5 daily prayers to design your day and design your marriage, particularly if you are that woman that is in an extremely difficult marriage with a narcissist. First, let's recognize that if your marriage is really difficult, you end up reacting to things going on. And you're basically in survival mode. That means you end up doing your day and your relationship in a reactive way and by default, not design. So let me unpack that. What does that mean? That means that your day today is probably going to be just like your day yesterday and the day before that. Nothing really that novel, nothing really that you have authored in your day. You're reacting, and those reactions are programmed. Like literally they're programmed in your nervous system. They're not conscious choices, and that's the point here. And so nothing really new and positive happens. Nothing's really improved, and you are not getting any closer to the day or the marriage or the life, for that matter, that you really want. So instead, when you design your day and design your marriage, you are moving the needle closer and closer to the kind of day that you want and the kind of marriage that you want. So these 5 daily prayers that I strongly encourage you to use every morning, and if you're uncomfortable with prayer language, whatever, I don't care, use the language of intention if you prefer. But if you are a woman from a faith perspective with a spiritual life, then these are prayers. But at the end of the day, whatever you call it, this is about designing your day, designing your marriage, designing your life so that it's not a default life. So the first prayer is asking yourself the question, bringing yourself before the Spirit, before the Source, before God, before Jesus, and ask yourself, how can I be a little more like Mary and a little less like Martha today? So if you're not familiar, those names come from a story in the Bible, in the book of Luke chapter 10. Jesus has been visiting his sisters, and Martha complains to Jesus about her sister. Complains to Jesus that her sister is just like sitting around and with Jesus and just talking to him. And she says, literally, Lord, don't you care that my sister has left me to do all the work by myself? Tell her to help me. And Jesus replies, Martha, Martha, you are worried and upset about many things, but only one thing is needed, and Mary has chosen what is better, and it will not be taken away from her. So the first prayer, the first intention is commit yourself to choose what's better for your soul. What brings you life? What brings you peace? Instead of being worried about many things. I want to emphasize that that is a choice. I'm not suggesting it's an easy choice because, again, the default responses that you're having to your day are programmed, right? One psychologist has noted that by the time we're adults, by the time we're, 30 years old, say, almost everything that we're doing is a programmed response. It's not something we've authored in our day. We're reacting automatically, going through the same routine, the same program. So bumping yourself out of that is absolutely a choice, but it takes work, it takes practice. That's why you're doing this prayer or this intention every single morning. Second prayer is an open-hearted prayer to be curious about what God might be up to in your life today. You see, the Lord is never not doing something in your life, right? That's clear from Scripture. And so the problem is we can be so absorbed in reacting to what we feel is being thrown at us that we lose the opportunity to look from a heavenly perspective and ask what the Lord is doing or wanting to do in my life today. Like, what is the heavenly perspective? What is the transcendent view here? And so this prayer will open your eyes to partner with God and more easily surrender or yield to what the Lord seems to be orchestrating in your life. What is He building? What is He growing? What is He developing in your life? If you look at it that perspective, you can confidently yield to what He's doing, to what He's orchestrating, because you know what He wants for you is always good for you. It's always the highest good. It might be difficult, it might be challenging, but it's always good for you. That's the second prayer. Asking, Lord, what are you up to in my life today? What do you seem to be doing in my life today? The third prayer or intention, well, you might be familiar with this. It's the serenity prayer, or some people call it the poem. I remember growing up, it seemed like every grandmother had this, crocheted or knit or something in her kitchen on the wall. The prayer or the poem goes, God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I can't change, the courage to change the things I can't accept, and the wisdom to know the difference. What I do very frequently, full disclosure here, is I change the word change to control. And so now it reads, God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I can't control, the courage to control the things that I can control, and the wisdom to know the difference. Or to put very simply, control the controllable. Control the controllable in your life and resist the temptation to control what does not belong to you. Because really, at the end of the day, there's two kinds of things in your life. There's things that you have control over, and there are things that are not under your control, and so presumably they are under somebody else's control, or they are acts of God, the weather, and I guess that's under the Lord's control. So if it's not under your control, then it's a prayer item. Bottom line, it's a prayer. If you can't control it, it's a prayer item. It's not something to try and grasp, to try and control. Because let's face it, one of the largest sources of frustration and dissent, argument, and all kinds of hostility and difficulty and distress in difficult marriages is one person trying to control the other person, trying to get them, him or her, goes both ways, to do what I want you to do. And that is anxiety provoking, guaranteed, to try and control something you can't control. That is a working definition of anxiety. And the response from the other person who is under the influence of that control, guaranteed, they're going to push back. They're going to resist maybe in a passive aggressive way, maybe in a active aggressive way, but that is conflict right there. So control what's controllable, and let go of the things that are uncontrollable and turn them into prayer items. That's the third prayer or intention. The fourth one is for when things don't go your way, when you experience adversity. Do you have any adversity in your life? I'm pretty sure that's why you're watching this video. So I'm indebted to Dan Martell, a super successful entrepreneur, for this one. When life goes sideways in whatever way, a relational conflict, a fender bender in traffic, or kids acting out, whatever it is, this prayer is to slow down, breathe, and reflect on this question. How can I appreciate even more God's grace and guidance in this moment? How can I appreciate even more God's grace and guidance in this moment? So this is a hugely powerful spiritual intervention on yourself, right? Again, it shifts your perspective from the being in the trenches and everything's going wrong and I'm so mad to where's God's grace? Where is guidance? Let me be quiet and look and to see if I can find God's grace and guidance right now. This is a game changer. It invites you to slow down, shift your focus just a little bit from the problem to where grace might lie in the midst of the challenge. Right? We're not suggesting that the challenge isn't there. We're not suggesting that this isn't an extremely difficult moment. But you see, focusing on problems creates more problems. Focusing on solutions creates opportunities. And as we look for His grace and guidance, chances are you're going to see opportunities. At the very least, opportunities for your own rest of your soul. The peace that passes understanding. Okay? Finally, number 5. And I'm saving the most powerful for the last. Glad you're sticking around. Hey, while you're on this, listening to this video, why don't you click subscribe? Why don't you give me a comment what you think about this? Is there a number 6 that you would add to this list, or would you cross out one of these? Let me know what you think about this, but definitely subscribe. That actually helps other people find this material. So actually you're helping other people in a similar situation. And why don't you do that? It's a gift to me. Mainly you do it as a gift to other women that are struggling right now. So number 5, saving the most powerful for last. It's what I call the identity prayer. So as you're starting your day, again, this is a meditation for the morning. Inevitably, you're looking forward to all of the things that you're going to be doing today. So those are doings. And they are activities that come out of the roles that you have in your life. So for example, maybe you're making your kids lunch because you're a mom, or you're doing your job because you have a job, or you're doing things, or you're having conversation with your husband, right? You're talking, that's the activity, because of the role of wife. You get the idea, right? We do a myriad of different activities, and those activities come out of different roles that we have. So first, those roles are things that the Lord has evidently called you to, even though at times you may not really appreciate the role or the calling, but those are a privilege. It's a privilege to be a mom. It is a privilege to be a wife, even in difficult relationships. It is a privilege to have a job and all the other things that you do. They're privileges, and more or less they're callings. And so in prayer, thank the Lord for those privileges and those callings. Thank you that you've trusted me to be the mom of this, little munchkin that I'm packing his or her lunch for, right? Thank you, Lord, for the opportunity to serve in these capacities. However, those activities and those roles, they are not the essence of who you are, right? They're add-ons, they're extras. The essence of who you are is the daughter of the Most High King. You are a princess in the kingdom. And that is more important than any activity that's coming up in your day. And it's more central and more robust and life-giving than even any of the roles that you find yourself in. So it's more vital to keep top of mind this essence, this identity. I am the daughter of the Most High King. Or if you're a man listening to this video, I am the son of the Most High King. I am a prince in the kingdom. And what he says about me is I'm loved. Well, he's well pleased with me. He's well pleased with you. That's out of your essential identity. That's not the stuff you do. That's not about the activities. That's not even about the roles. He's well pleased with you because of the essence of you, because of the relationship. So, as you move through your day, hold on to your identity. Rest in who you are over and above what you do. And that is the most important one. But these 5 are the ways to not live by default, but rather to live by design. These will steady you. They will keep you aligned with who you want to be. They will help you to be less reactive. And they will have you, over time, designing your day, designing your marriage, designing your life. Now, what I've provided for you in this video is, I believe it's super important. I believe it's game-changing. But I also want you and I to recognize together that you probably need more. You probably have suffered and been victimized by this marriage and probably need healing and transformation so that you can live in this state more easily, actually effortlessly. I encourage you to click the link that you'll find below to find out more information about how we help exclusively women that are in extremely difficult relationships. They want to stay, but it's extremely difficult, extremely painful, extremely soul-crushing. We're regularly helping women each week in a process to liberate their heart and soul so that they are living and enjoying themselves, enjoying their life in their relationship, enjoying the relationship itself, and actually liking their husband again. I know that sounds impossible. I know that sounds unbelievable. I think it's a miracle. And at Russell Healing Institute, we are privileged to participate in those miracles every week. Click the link below. Find out more. While you're at it, subscribe to this channel. Leave me a comment. Let me know what you think. All right? Have a beautiful and blessed day.